Good evening, YouTubers. Welcome back in to another edition of Astros Recap. David Artis here again, Sunday night. Here to break things down for you. It is 11:09 p.m. September 5th, so we're getting late into the night for most people. Not for me really, but yeah. So obviously, I am tired, so sort of running on fumes right now. As you know, I worked, Sunday's a big work day for me now, which is going to be tougher and tougher as we draw closer to the NFL season. But we're here to talk about the MLB season and the Houston Astros. So, the Astros struggled this week, 2-4, losing 2 of 3 in Seattle and doing the same in San Diego. So, the Astros, weird thing, they won the opener of both these series and then lost games 2 and 3. So they'd start the series well, usually winning that opener. It's always tough to lose a series after winning that opener because, all you got to do is win one of the next two and you win the series, and usually you'll take that every time out. At least that's usually the way I look at things. If you can, win the opener of a series, it's a disappointment. A failure, basically, if you can't take one of the next two, especially with the Astros and all the talent they apparently have. So, before I actually pick up the phone here, I just want to think about a few things. So, Jose Urquidy came back, got his start on Friday. It wasn't terrible, not great. They didn't really let him go that far. He pitched 4 1/3, I believe, gave up 3 runs, or I think he left the game with a few runners on base that ended up coming around to score. We'll look at that in a minute to give you a better answer. But he, first start back, so wasn't bad, but also wasn't great, but sort of, pitch count, things like that. So, but we won that game on Friday, so, and then obviously today, we tied it, and then we lost it late. Walk-off home run by Jake Cronenworth. Saturday, we didn't even show up on Saturday. We lost 10-2. So we actually scored the first 2 runs of the game. I believe we did, at least. And then San Diego came back. Framber struggled, gave up 4. And it gave 4 runs, I believe, in the 4th inning, but Framber wasn't very good at all. But lost that 10-2. So go back even before that. So trying to think here. I had the off day Thursday, Wednesday afternoon game Seattle. So after winning on Monday, a game that Dusty basically begged them to lose, bringing in Brooks Raley. God, Dusty Baker. He loses his mind sometimes. There's just no other way. Like, I have no idea what goes through his brain sometimes. Dusty Baker just amazes me. Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit, but they were able to come back and win on Monday, but got shut out Tuesday and Wednesday. So, I know we're sort of all over the place there. Just trying to recap those 6 games. But yeah, I started Friday, then Sunday, then Saturday. Thought about Wednesday, and then I went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Alright, we'll go in order here, slow things down a little bit. This might be a little short and sweet tonight because I am tired and I still have some things I need to do. But yeah, alright, so on Monday, the Astros actually scored 2 runs in the first inning and they were up for most of the game 2-1. Now, as we get later into the game, this is where I'll have to pull out my phone because, and this is obviously the area of the house where my Wi-Fi is not very good. Let's see here. So yeah, they were up 2-1. They scored 2 in the first. Let's see who pitched this game. I believe Luis Garcia, who's actually pretty good. Of course, Luis Garcia's starts lately. He's on a pitch count. They don't want him to go more than 80 or so pitches, so he gets the no decision. Probably should have won the game here. But yeah, 78 pitches, but 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. Garcia had a 2 or 3 bad start stretch there for a little bit, but I feel like he's bounced back. I feel pretty good with Garcia most days when he's pitching. So he did good enough. He scored 3 runs, but it was 2-1, bottom half of the 6th. And Dusty Baker and his obsession with Brooks Raley, which is just completely and utterly just it's stupidity. I don't get it, because I knew it when he came in, and sure enough, he walks a guy. I think. No, he came in. There was a runner on base. Yeah, so Garcia pitched into the 6th. I think it allowed a base runner, and then Dusty says, "Let's go to Brooks Raley." I want to see this actually. I'm going to dive into this a little deeper because I got to scroll down. Just give me a quick second here. Let me try to get this. So yeah, Luis Garcia walks Kyle Seager to start the inning. And then he gives up a single to Ty France. So that puts runners at first and second. So that's when Dusty goes and gets Brooks Raley. 1-run game. I need to move closer here. 1-run game. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. And you're going to Brooks Raley. Just let that go through your brain real quick. You're going to go to Brooks Raley in a 1-run game that you lead, and you have runners on first and second, and nobody out. In what world does that make any sort of sense to anybody who watches Astros baseball? It doesn't. It makes 0 sense. It's insanity that he would actually go to Brooks Raley here, but sure enough, he does it. Actually gets Abraham Toro to grunt into a double play. So what does Seattle do? They pinch hit Jose Marmoleos. They pitch hit for him. They Dylan Moore, who's the same guy that hit the home run off of Raley earlier this year. It's actually a grand slam in that scenario, which actually gave Seattle the lead and the win. Goes to Dylan Moore, and what does Dylan Moore do? He hits a home run again. And you blow the lead like that. The Astros deserve to lose this game, by the way. And Dusty is 100% accountable for this loss. He gets bailed out by the offense because the offense actually puts up 2 runs. Kyle Tucker had a big RBI single. And then Jake Myers had a big RBI single, so he actually scored 2 runs in the 8th, win this game 4-3. But that had disaster, and Dusty Baker needs to be held accountable for. It makes 0 sense. I mean, maybe you could justify using him for maybe a batter, but that's no longer the case with the 3-batter rule. So you have to throw him. So look at the time here real quick. But if he has to pitch to at least 3 hitters, there's just no sense in even chancing it. But he blows the save. Phil Maton comes in. He actually works a scoreless inning, walks a guy, strikes out 2. Stanek gets the hold in the 8th, striking out the side, and Presley gets the save. So, but yeah, we should have lost the game. Part of me wanted to lose that game just so I could jump all over Dusty Baker for just the insanity and the idiotic, unexplainable decision-making when it comes to our bullpen he comes up with. So, but like I said, Tuesday and Wednesday they get shut out. So they lose 4-0 on Tuesday, 1-0 on Wednesday. So you want to tell me the Astros have a great offense? Great offenses don't get shut out in back-to-back games. It's just that simple. Seattle's a decent team, not great, better than I think a lot of people imagine them to be. I mean, they're second in the division right now. They're about 12, 13 games over 500, so they're a respectable team, but still, I mean, it's not like we're facing all-star pitchers out there. It's like Jose Kikuchi on Tuesday. You look at this real quick. I'm pretty sure it's Kikuchi on Tuesday there. Double check here. Yeah, he went 7 scoreless. And then on Wednesday, 1-0 was the score there. Justice, I can't even say this guy's name. No, it was Gilbert. It was, I think of Justice Sheffield. But Logan Gilbert got the start. Dude's 5-5 with a 5.14 ERA, and you let him shut you out. Granted, there was only 5 innings, but still, you let him shut you out? That's unacceptable. The Astros deserve to actually get swept in the series. Dusty Baker. I could go on and on about him. I try to keep things clean on this podcast, but yeah, it was 2 of 3. Day off Thursday. Friday they get the win. I mean, Correa had a big 3-run shot, home run that finally broke the 22 straight inningless, or 22 straight scoreless innings the Astros had to give them a 3-1 lead. This was the Urquidy game. Like I said, 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 200 runs, walked a guy, 4 strikeouts. Garcia came in, got through the 5th. But guess who came in? Brooks Raley. And there was some guy on Twitter I was talking with that it was actually trying to give Brooks Raley some credit, which is crazy. But Brooks Raley only gets an out, gives up an earned run, surprise, surprise, walks a guy, surprise, surprise, a strikeout. Phil Maton comes in, cleans up the mess. This is a stupid stat. How does Brooks Raley get credit for a hold, and Phil Maton gets a blown save? Maton, who hasn't been very good since coming over, but Brooks Raley is charged with the earned run. So how does Phil Maton get the blown? I mean, he gave up a hit, but he also struck out a guy, and there was no runs on his line. But yeah, Graveman comes in. Graveman, who's not the prior game, which we didn't really even jump into. We gave up a grand slam to Abraham Toro. In this game, he walks 3 guys, strikes out a guy, doesn't allow any runs as Blake Taylor came in, got the final out. But Graveman, a little shaky there. ERA's up close to 2. I mean, he came over, ERA was under 1. Stanek comes in, gets a hold. I'm not even looking at the right game here. Hold on. Alright, I got completely sidetracked here. Alright. This is what happens when you're super tired and you're running on fumes, but yeah. Alright. For some reason I started talking about the Astros against the Padres, and then I went back to the Mariners, so I'm trying to figure out what BS stands for blown save. It has to. But this is what doesn't make sense to me. So Raley gives up the earned run, but Maton, that doesn't make sense to me. This might be a misprint. But the Astros win this game 6-3. As a Correa big 3-run shot, they actually relinquish the lead. It's tied at 3, but Tucker hits a big 2-run shot. The Astros add another one of insurance, but Stanek and Presley finish out the game there to get the win. Good to get that win, obviously, after the off day, things like that. The Astros, not much to talk about on Saturday. They lose at 10-2. So, but yeah, the Astros were up 2-0, but the 4-1 fourth really hurt Framber Valdez. Valdez goes 6 innings, but gives up 4 earned runs. Strikes out 4, walks 2, 3.08 ERA. Wasn't terrible. And sure, you give up 4 runs in 6 innings, you usually expect your offense to go out there and win that game for you. Javier comes in, adds insult to injury. 4 earned runs, 2 home runs he gives up. Javier's pitching himself out of a playoff spot, or a playoff roster spot, I should say. And Josh James comes in. Josh James, so a lot of new guys. Obviously September call-ups. James gives up a 2-run home run to Fernando Tatis, of course. Now, Josh James is just he's a waste of time. He's like Enoli Paredes. Like, he was terrible last year. At least Enoli was good last year, but Josh James is terrible. He's only on this team because of call-ups, and the game was out of reach at that point anyway, so that's why they brought him in. 10-2. Today, they were down 3-1 early. Stayed that way for about 5-6 innings. Finally hit back-to-back home runs. Yuli Gurriel and Carlos Correa to tie it at 3. Felt good about your chances at that point, but Astros had chances to really score more runs. I mean, first, second, they had first. After scoring a run in the first, they still had first and second, nobody out. Couldn't muster anything there. In the ninth inning, when the game was tied, they had first and second, nobody out. Couldn't muster anything there. So they had their chances to score a lot more. But double plays, like Correa grounded into a crucial double play in the ninth inning that killed the inning. And I'm curious to look at this because he might have done this in the first as well. So now I have to dive deeper into this real quick here. I guess it was Gurriel. He grounded into a double play, but yeah, the Astros had their chances. They deserved to lose. But yeah, Stanek actually gave up the home run to Cronenworth. So Graveman came in, gave up a hit, got a big double play, struck out a guy. After Luis Garcia went 5 2/3, 3 earned runs. Not quality. You have to get through 6 to actually get that quality start. But, I mean, it wasn't terrible. After giving up 3 in the first, he was scoreless the rest of the way through. Brooks Raley somehow found himself in the game. He actually got out. Blake Taylor comes in, has a good inning, but Blake Taylor's no good either, let's be honest. Both of our lefties are terrible. But yeah, Stanek gets the loss as he gives up the big home run walk-off. So 2-4 this week. The Astros just can't seem to get things going. Was it last week where they actually had a good week, and I thought maybe that was the turn? Yeah, where they won 4-6, but they lose 4-6 this week. So just sort of stuck in neutral. They're not really doing a whole lot lately. Now, luckily for them, the A's have been worse than the Astros in the stretch. The A's have fallen so far out that the Mariners have caught them in the standings. So really, the Mariners, who we actually play for 3 coming up, this is actually a crucial series for the Astros at home. Good to come back home, obviously. But they'll play 6 home games here before going back out on the road to Texas. So at Seattle, LA, and then on the road to Texas. But back home, gotta win these games, man. The Astros right now, obviously, standing-wise, they have let's see, what do they have? A 4.5 game lead. Seattle's won 5 in a row. Seattle's at 75-62. Oakland 74-33. Tampa's got the best record, almost basically locked up, as we're at the second best record in the American League, as the White Sox are only a half game behind us. But Oakland right now is, a 7-game lead? They have like a 6-7 game lead, so they're probably going to the playoffs with the best record in the American League, which would be the second straight season for them because they did it last year as well. Of course, 60-game season, of course, but they still did it. Yeah. So the Astros, I think the goal for the Astros right now, win your series, win your games, hold on to the second seed there, and at least host the White Sox in the first round. I think that's got to be the goal for the Astros. But yeah, I mean, you think about the division, they've really, have given Oakland and Seattle, more so Oakland, the chance to really put a lot of pressure on them. But Oakland just has been struggling really, really bad right now. I mean, they're falling out of the wild card spot. I mean, if they've fallen out of the wild card spot as Boston has it, but they're 4 games out. Seattle's only 3 games out, so yeah, that's that. But the Astros still in good shape in the division, but just not very satisfied. Bullpen's been sort of shaky. The offense is really hit or miss. They haven't scored a lot of runs lately. I mean, you look up and, I mean, what, you score 3 or 4 against Seattle, then you get shut out twice. I guess you score 6 on Friday, but then you come back and score 2 and 3. I mean, it's just not, it's not good. So you got an offense that, you know, is really feast or famine, a little overrated if you ask me. They have a manager that doesn't have a brain, basically. There's a lot of issues. Shaky bullpen. The starters aren't what they used to be. It's just, things just aren't good right now. There's not a whole lot of good things to talk about with the Astros lately, because they're just, you know, they're not playing good baseball. It's that simple. And me being a big Astros fan, I am hard on the team. I understand that. But that shows I care. You know, I mean, yeah, they got things to figure out, and I keep every week they get their stuff together. I could use another word there, but I'm not going to do it if I post this on YouTube. So I'm not going to say the word I would, but they need to get their stuff together, and you know exactly what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I'm tired. I need to go to sleep soon. I know it's only 21 minutes. My podcast can stretch 30, 40 minutes. I'm not going to go that deep into things. But yeah, I'll wrap things up there. We'll talk to you next weekend. I need an off day on Monday because these Sunday nights are going to continue to be tough for me if I continue to try to get on here. So let me look at the schedule real quick. Do they have an off day on Monday? They do not. No, wait. I can't read this. They do not have an off day next Monday, so it'll be a struggle. But I'll be back here Sunday night, hopefully, unless there's some way I don't work next Monday and I can get on during the day or something like that. So anyway, yeah, I'll talk to you next week. Astros got to go 4-2 this week at least. I like to be greedy, I don't like to be greedy, but the Astros got some making up to do, I feel like. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'll wrap things up there. We'll talk to you next week. We'll see you then.